So we've completed putting our cam and our crank in our block. What's the next step? Stay tuned and we'll let you know. So welcome back to In the Garage. In today's episode we're actually going to assemble our pistons for our small block Chevy Mighty Mouse project engine. We've got some probe pistons and some connecting rods from Howard's cams. We're going to break these out, show you what comes in the kits, and show you how they go together. Stay tuned. So first let's take a look at our connecting rods. We've got a set here from Howard's Racing Components. This is their Sports Series 4340 forged connecting rods. Now if you'll come in a little closer, we'll take a look at some of the details on this and why we chose these. Now the first thing we want to talk about, as I said before, this is a 4340 aircraft quality steel forged connecting rod, which will match up perfectly with our 4340 crank that we got from Howard's as well. Now these are bronze bushed connecting rods, which means that they do handle a floating wrist pin. They do have the ARP 2000 7/16 cap screw bolts in them as well. These connecting rods from Howard's are stroker clearance, so they are good for your stroker build as well. They are an I-beam construction, which you can see here. That's the way that they're actually manufactured. One thing else to remember, that these connecting rods are actually capable of managing up to 650 horsepower in your engine application as well. They're great rods. I will show you one thing to keep in mind. As you look at the rods, you'll see on one side of the rod there's an X. On each of these connecting rods there's an X on one side of it that you can actually use to make sure that you're putting them in the correct way. And I'll show you that when we get ready to install these, but I did want to point that out to you. One other thing I wanted to point out that you're not going to see in a lot of the manufacturers of these connecting rods is the links that Howard's goes to make sure that the connecting rods you order come to you in pristine order. This is actually the packaging for Howard's. A lot of the connecting rods you'll get will just come in a boxed set, but they actually have a hard plastic casing that all of their connecting rods come in, and they're all individually wrapped when they come to you. And they sit in here in this packaging like this to make sure that, as I said, whatever shipping or whatever transport that you use to get them to you, they're going to come to you in perfect order. I've never seen anybody put this much time and money into the actual packaging for their product, but it really shows that they do appreciate giving you good quality product and make sure that it's in perfect order when you get it. So a great piece from Howard's. So let's talk about the pistons real quick. So the next thing we'll talk about is our pistons. We have a set of the Probe Sportsman Racing Series pistons that we're using in our block. These are the 2618 forged aluminum pistons. They're a lightweight, low drag piston set. They have a full floating, lightweight wrist pin built into it. If you come in closer, we're going to show you a couple more of the specs on it. So let's talk about the ring pack that these pistons are set up for. They have a 16th, 16th, 3/16 ring pack setup, which is pretty standard. They also have the ability to be run in a 2-barrel circle track situation, up to a high performance drag, or even a heavily boosted engine. These are great pistons for just all around what we're using them for. In our test mule Mighty Mouse, they're going to be perfect. One more thing that we want to actually point out to you is they are universally cut. If you come and look at the top of the piston, both the exhaust and intake cuts in the piston top are the same size. And a lot of the pistons you're going to see, they're going to be a different size for the exhaust and intake, and you're going to have to keep that in mind as you're installing these in your engine. But on the Probe Sportsman Racing Series, since they've cut them universally, they go both ways, so you're not going to have to be as concerned with which way the piston is and how they contact the valves. So let's put a few of these together, show you how it goes, and we'll get on to the next step.